Why the US is one of the only countries that can build a sixth-generation fighter alone. The United States and China may be the only countries that can reasonably be expected to produce a full-fledged sixth-generation fighter jet alone. This is not to say that other countries can't produce sixth-generation fighters if they are willing to commit, but that it is at least somewhat unrealistic or infeasible in the real world. However, much depends on definitions, including what counts as a sixth-generation fighter. When assessing a country's ability to produce a fully fledged sixth-generation fighter, a number of fundamentals are important. These include an advanced aerospace industrial base, engine capability, electronics, sensors, access to advanced semiconductor technology, stealth manufacturing, advanced software, a large budget, and political commitment. Countries lacking in some sectors are forced to make difficult decisions. For Sweden, one challenge is the increasingly international nature of even domestically designed aircraft, such as the Gripen discussed below. Although Russia possesses one of the world's largest defense budgets, its resources are spread across a broad range of strategic commitments, everything a superpower is expected to do. Committing to a true sixth-generation program would likely entail difficult choices for other defense sectors, e.g., the Navy. Definition of a sixth-generation fighter jet. For the purposes of this article, a sixth-generation fighter jet is a next-generation fighter that can be reasonably expected to meet the standards of the United States Air Force or Navy. The term sixth generation is part marketing, part clickbait, and part useful. There is no universally accepted definition of a sixth-generation fighter, and there is no authoritative body applying the label to fighter jet programs. There is nothing stopping a country like Russia from using the label for a program of its own, even though the U.S. Air Force may assess that aircraft as a lower generation. For the purposes of this article, a sixth-generation fighter jet is understood to be a survivable, highly networked combat aircraft designed to dominate contested airspace through multispectral stealth, advanced sensors, artificial intelligence-assisted systems, long-range weapons, manned-unmanned teaming, and adaptable open architecture, while maintaining superiority against peer threats across several decades. These aircraft need to incorporate all-aspect broadband stealth, sensor fusion and information dominance, MUM-T, AI-assisted systems, massive electrical power generation, extremely advanced thermal management, next-generation electronic warfare, and more features like high Mach, high altitude, and tailless designs do not automatically qualify them as sixth generation. The United States is currently developing two next-generation fighter jets, the Air Force's F-47 and the Navy's F/A-XX. Perhaps marketing, or perhaps a nod to the multi-role nature of next-generation fighter jets and bombers. Northrop Grumman also describes its B-21 Raider bomber as the world's first sixth-generation combat aircraft. The Air Force awarded the contract for the F-47 to Boeing in March 2025, and it has become a priority for the Air Force. In the fiscal 2026 budget, some in Washington, including the White House, were in favor of putting the Navy's F/A-X program on ice, with minimal funding to keep the program alive, but essentially deferring it until the F-47 was more mature in its development cycle. The U.S. Department of Defense stated in a hearing, the Navy's F/A-XX program will maintain minimal development funding to preserve the ability to leverage F-47 work while preventing oversubscription of qualified defense industrial base engineers.